right, where are we today, Hyde?
The winter range.
And what are we doing?
Going down to that tank.
We're going down to that tank. And it rained over the weekend. And so we got lots of water and we got to go check a tank down here that we're working on. So it ought to be a good day, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're down in here where this pipe is broken coming into this tank, and it's not making very much water, but it's making a little bit. So anyway, this is where we've got to fix. We've been over checking out this big tank and seeing what we need to do to fix over there too, but we will figure it all out. All right, so what we're doing is we're just getting an equipment list. Everything we're gonna need to fix this. This pipe that was broke goes down a hill here and then into this big tank. And anyway, this pipe is just really beat up and not good. So we are going to replace all the pipe, put new pipe in there, and then put a water tank with a float valve on that side of this tank, and hopefully get this thing back up and running. You can see right down there, there's kind of an overflow pond. And that pond, we've had a lot of rain down here recently. The pond's clear full, so that's great to see. Anyway, so it's not super crucial that we get this done like right now, but we definitely need to get it done in the next few weeks. We're also setting out a little supplement today. It's a liquid mix that's full of vitamins and nutrients and energy, and helps the cows eat a lot of this dry yellow brush you can see, and helps them to do good when they're eating that dry feed. So we try to keep supplement in front of them. Hey, good morning. Well, I woke up this morning and came out to feed horses and feed animals and stuff, and found that on Glade's neck that he did during the night. I have no idea what happened, but sometimes these horses get fighting with each other, and especially when they're eating, and they run each other into things, and that's my only guess. So instead of doing what we had planned today, I'm headed to the vet, which is 90 miles away. So that's where we're headed. Dang it, to go get this sewed up and get him taken care of. It's not like a dangerous cut or anything, but it is deep. But it just has got to be taken care of and got to be sewn up. So that's where we're headed. Well, I'm not on the desert today. Out in Colorado. We've still got quite a bit of fence to lay down, that lay down fence that we have on the ranch. And I'm up here checking tracks. We're still short 3 cows, 3 or 4. And so I'm checking tracks and seeing if they might be up here. And I had a few things I needed to get at the camp. And as you can see, winter is in full swing up here. And so it's going to be a cold, long day. Yeah, okay, I got the rest of camp cleaned up, and had to get my 4-wheeler. And so we are all ready to shut this camp down for the winter. Okay, now I'm going to head over and start laying fence down. I've got to hike in about a mile to this fence that needs to be laid down, and it's actually the new fence that we built at the beginning of the summer. So that's where I'm headed right now, to lay that fence down. It's beautiful up here. My goodness, it's so pretty. Okay, so this is what the fence looks like before you lay it down, and we just unwire it right here and pull it off these T-posts and lay it down. Now, this is unusual to have this much snow this early, and so normally I wouldn't be up here in the snow, but boy, I got caught off guard. And I mean, it's only the 6th of November, and we got quite a bit of snow up here. So I guess I should have been up here a few weeks ago. But anyway, I'm going to take this down and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like after you lay it down. And the reason we lay it down is because we get a lot of snow up here and it busts the fence all up. And if we lay it down like this, we'll just come back next spring and stand it right back up and it'll be in great shape. So it saves us a lot of time and it keeps the fence in really good shape. So that's why we lay the fence down. So not only do we lay the fence down, but we also open every gate, just in case there is something up here that we miss and it can get down through these gates and get further south and lower elevation. I've laid down my second stretch of fence here. This one was about, I don't know, 1.5 miles to 2 miles long. And I can't remember if I told you or not, but we have about 7 miles of lay down fence. And so it takes me a couple of days to do that. So I'll see if I can get the rest of it another day, but now I'm gonna walk back to the truck. I got this fence all laid down. Oh, made it home, but I also wanted to give you an update on Glade. You can see where that cut was. They stitched him up and he looks a lot better. But it turned out that cut was really deep, and it was a good thing that I got him over there. It wasn't bleeding or anything like that, but it was just, I don't know, almost 4 inches deep right there. So I don't know what he hit or how that happened, but boy, it was an ugly, ugly cut. But I'm glad we got him taken care of. We're going to give him a couple of weeks off and let him heal up. But he ought to be just fine. Well, good morning. Change of scenery. I'm back down on the winter range today, and I'm out checking these cows we pushed up onto that Texas flat last week. I'm just making sure that the water is good and that they found the supplement that we put out and some things like that. So just checking cows, making sure they're not at the gate or, you know, anything like that. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing for a minute this morning. And I'll turn this camera around and we're going to look at water too. Okay, so here is some supplement that we set out. And they have definitely found the supplement. And they've been eating on it. So that is a good sign. That's great. And there was water over here in this little canyon. And there's still water in the canyon. Now that doesn't look like much, and it is frozen, but it's this way all the way down this little canyon. And so it looks good. They've got water and their supplement they found, and so good. I'm gonna run up here and check a pond real quick. So this pond is still got good water in it, and it is frozen, but it's not frozen very thick, and you can see like right over there on that side where they've broken the ice and gotten a drink this morning. So that's good. Good sign. So there's plenty of water and plenty of feed up in here. Seen a few of the cows, but not very many this morning, which means that they're probably scattered all over the place, but they look like they're doing really good. I'll kind of show you what they're eating. In this sagebrush that you can see in front of me, there's lots of crested wheat. And because of these late fall storms, there's been a lot of moisture in the ground, and a lot of this grass is actually green, which is kind of uncommon for this time of year. But let me zoom in on it and I can show you what I'm talking about. So there's lots of that kind of grass, and that's what they're eating. Just really good feed, and really like stout feed. It's got a lot of nutrients and things in it that really help these cows and helps them survive the winter. So this is why this is such a good pasture. Now, cows also eat a lot of brush, and they will eat this sagebrush and some other black brush that's up here, and they'll do really well on that too. Okay, one other thing I wanted to explain is that this is public land up here that we're on. It's open range, and that means that it's not owned privately, and anybody can come up here and use this, and people can use it to camp or hike or sightsee or picnic or graze cattle or whatever they want, because it's public. And so I think that's a great thing personally. And it's so incredibly beautiful that it's just great that people want to come and see it and be in it. And it is pretty remote and pretty wild country, and that's fun too. And there's lots of things to see here. So in all that, our responsibility is to make sure that we are on top of the grazing here, and that we don't let our cows go places where they shouldn't go, or destroy any of the ground, or overgraze, or any of the other things that could happen when you're on public land like that. So it's different here than it is in other places where the land is private, and you have maybe irrigated pastures and things like that, or enough rainfall to have lots of good grass. Here, this is a desert, and so the grass just grows naturally and it depends upon the moisture that we get. And so a lot of that determines our work and what we do and how we move the cattle and stuff like that. But I wanted to explain that because these grazing allotments are huge, and it takes a lot of work to stay on top of managing and maintaining the cows and maintaining the land and those kind of things. And we work really hard at that. And that's part of what I'm doing today. I'm just here checking and making sure that things are in good shape, and that the cows are where they're supposed to be, and that we have water and grass and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit different. And that's why we also have to ride so much and stay on top of things, because here it takes a lot of acreage to feed a cow. And so I don't know exactly what that is, but I mean, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 100 acres a winter to feed a cow. And so I know that's a little bit different than other places, but that's just what it takes. And so we move these cows around all the time, and we love rain and we love moisture. And so when I get excited about a storm coming in, that's why, because that determines how we're going to be able to use things and where we're going to be able to put the cows. It's just crucial. Moisture is everything here. So anyway, wanted to explain that. Hey, good morning. Tracy and I are down on the winter range, the very south part of our winter range on this river. And if you've seen some of our videos from last year, you kind of remember where this river is. And we put some cows down here, and we lost 2 cows that got across this river and onto the Navajo Nation side. And so we're down here seeing if we can see any tracks or if we can find these cows. So Trayson's got the drone in the air right now, and he's flying and taking some video and stuff, and it's really cool. But we're looking to for these cows, and we're getting permission to go on the other side of the river to see if we can get them when we find them. We have seen cows on the river, but I don't think they're ours. I think there were some wild cows that are in here. So we're just looking around this morning and seeing if we can find these cows we lost. We lost them about a year ago, and I'll put some footage of that in this video. I don't know if you've seen that or not, if you can remember seeing it, but we'll put some of that on here as well. But that's what we're doing today. So this is just super thick. As you can see, these tamaracks and oh gosh, there's all kinds of brush and willows and cottonwoods and everything else down through there. And if the cows get in this, man, it is almost impossible to get them out. You can get them out with dogs, but even with dogs, it's really, really hard. So you kind of have to catch things just right. But we're kind of planning a trip to come down in here and see if we can find these cows. But we had to do a little bit of a pre-scouting before we got down here. Well, we came down in here into the bottom and going up a little road and found these cows. But these are not our cows. They belong to some people across the river. And they're just on, kind of on our side. So, but you can see these are not wild cows, or gentle cows. I got something else I wanted to show you that's really cool up in here. There's a set of ruins here. It's called River House, and they are so cool, very well preserved. They're right there behind me, but I'll show you. I'll take you up and give you a close-up. know if you can see that or not, but that's old corn cobs. Anyway, a very well preserved ruin. Such a cool place. And if you walk along this little shelf right here, it takes you around to a granary. But along the way, there are all kinds of holes like this that they use to grind their corn in. I'll walk right around here and show you this granary over here. Okay, it's very well concealed, but I'll zoom in and show you the door. This is just part of a small wall, but that hole right there goes behind that rock and into the granary. And you can see the top where it's all sealed up right there. Just really a neat place. So cool to be able to see this kind of stuff, that it's so well preserved and that it's still here. Okay, made it back to the truck, and I didn't see our cows, but we saw some other set of cows on the other side of the river with the drone. And anyway, we're gonna keep looking and see if we can get a time where we're gonna come down here and see if we can find our cows.
Well, that's a wrap on our week. We didn't get to be horseback as much as we wanted to. Other things came up, and so anyway, stay tuned. The next couple weeks, we're about to get into full swing with our winter ranching. So I'd like to say that things are going to get real busy, but they're always busy. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next week.